Live streaming is on.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's always really nice. Okay, well, welcome to the next TE Commons call. I think we'll probably have to do a little bit of a second intro when the TE book call ends and people will join. Hey, how's it going? But we'll just get started with a really fun little intro. Oh man, hey Angela. So we have our goal here is to with this intro is to raise the vibes a little bit and get some positive feedback on what has been going well with the cultural build for the Token Engineering Commons so far. So try to keep it to 60 seconds and we'll just pass it around. I'll pass it to Livia first.
I think it's been going right. It's to see people's participation, to see people getting excited, and a lot of feedback coming in and moving forward kind of on time with the roadmap and gathering the learnings. I think, yeah, that's been going good. And I'll pass to Michał. Sorry, that maybe you don't have much context.
Yeah, so actually I'm here to kind of catch up because I heard that there are a lot of interesting things happening, but I haven't been really connected the past few weeks or maybe a few months. So yeah, I'm just here to listen and really curious what's going on. And I see just initials. So yeah, hi Livia. So maybe I'll just pass it to Griff because that's the only person I can recognize.
Yeah, sure. I think that, yeah, I think we've done really a good job at the Miro board things at the beginning. I thought that was really fun, and we gathered a lot of data to kind of kick off the initiative. I also think that we've been doing well at getting some structures in place to kind of temporarily structure ourselves, and I think we've done really well on just like keeping a standard progress, like a train, just always moving forward. And even if something like gets hung up, we just keep like pushing forward. And I see that as a real big success. I'll pass it to Angela.
Hi all. This question just reminded me that, or made me aware that there are so many challenging things that you always concentrate on the problems. Nevertheless, I think I'm still super enthusiastic about TE Commons, and I still want to make it reality. And I also think that even though we had several iterations now with the decision-making process, it's getting better and better. And obviously it already works in a way, and now improving from there is great. And it's fun. All right, Daniel.
Hi everybody. Yeah,
Hi.
I've been much like Michał, trying to like catch up and fill all of the gaps in my knowledge over the last few weeks since I found this amazing project. And I think I reiterate what Angela said there, that sort of it seems like they're going around and just continue. Having that attention on the decision-making process, although it's like one of those things where you feel like you're not making too much progress in the short term, but then it accumulates. I think that's pretty much, I think that's driven mostly by Griff, your enthusiasm and your drive around this project. It really comes through in all of your communications and all the calls and stuff. So it's you're an inspiration, dude. And who else left to go?
I can jump in.
Okay, go.
Yeah, really. I mean, I think even the fact that we are able to take the constructive criticism and feedback about the process and integrate that to continue to build these processes is a success itself. I think that's the mark of a mature and adaptive organization to be able to take constructive criticism and integrate it into growing a more successful community. So I think the way that this community has dealt with critical feedback is in itself a positive, a success. So really happy to see that. And also I just want to second the Miro boards and the collective decision-making processes, dot voting, Griff's spreadsheet magic, Livia's Miro board magic. Like there's some really cool things going on in this group that I think can definitely be lessons and models and replicated elsewhere. And I'll pass it to Jess.
Yeah, so I would say a couple of things. First, kind of as Griff said, like the train, there's a rhythm to it and it feels really nice. It's very like solid and there's a rhythm and it's very inclusive and open and feels very fluid. It doesn't feel like any resistance. It feels like when anything comes up, we address it and integrate. And it feels really great in that we have, it wasn't really a conflict, but like a friction resolution maybe felt really nice in the way that it happens. And then the last thing I would say is just that in general, we speak about collective intelligence and read about it, but I think in this community, I'm having this experience almost in my perception, or like I don't really feel like my ego coming in like it would normally want to on a team that somebody has to have a title, or I don't feel the need for it feels very just like a collective intelligence that's at work, and that everyone's voice is like heard and that's all taken into account in the decision making. So in general, feels really good. I'm looking this screen here. I'm not sure who is left.
I think that's everyone.
M is already gone, or DT. No, they've already gone. I think that's it. Griff.
Yeah, I think. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's great. Thank you guys for all the positive feedback. It's good. Yeah, we definitely have, like Angela said, we it's so easy to talk about the things that are going poorly, or things that can do better. And in the end, that's where more constructive, we can build better when we talk about those things. But hopefully we also remember that, many things are going well. We just don't talk about them. So, because we don't have to, which is really nice. So let's just review. Oh, I got to share screen. I'll just review the roadmap so we can see where we are. So here's our roadmap. We're right now we're actually in this lake of lava on a boat in the breather week. So we've made a lot of progress on organizing our mission, vision, values, the mission, vision, values for the TE Commons once it's launched. And right now we're kind of still in this process of how do we work together as a team to launch the TE Commons. And we're going to make some major progress on that, or review some major progress that has been made on that today. This week, we're kind of having a breather week. We need to post the Gitcoin grants, and also review some of the work that's been done. Depending on how things go this weekend, we might even take another breather week. We will see. But then if we don't take a breather week next week, to continue rehashing on our internal processes for the cultural build and technical build, then
I think your screen is not sharing.
Oh no! Is it not? Okay, well, let me refresh. How about now? You guys see yourself?
Yeah, now it works.
Okay, cool. So let's go back. So yeah, roadmap. We have this really fun roadmap. We're in the lava. We've done a lot of stuff I already talked about. We're in a breather week this week, and we are going to continue in a breather week if we need to make sure that our internal processes are aligned for the upcoming actual work, where we actually start building the commons, which we're very close to doing. The big steps will be obviously making sure how we work together, and then once we have all of that settled, then we will start identifying what working groups we need to actually form to do all the work, make plans for that work before we start doing it, and talk about those plans, and then actually start making decisions and building the technical specifications, making sure we handle the culture right for the DAO that we're going to create. So very exciting times, and all this buildup is hopefully going to reduce problems that we'd run into if we didn't do this buildup. That's kind of the idea. Also, just to review what the purpose of this call is for everyone. This call is really not focused on discussing specific proposals or brainstorming improvements. This call is more about showing off the work that has been done over the week, making sure everyone's aware of it, and showing them where they can discuss the proposals and brainstorm improvements. And also to gather data that is valuable from everyone for the work that's going to happen next week. And also to collect proposals and action steps. If you guys have the agenda notes, they're probably linked. Thank you, Olivia. I can hear Olivia like sending it right now in the chat. So you can feel free to follow this. We're going to follow along here, and Olivia and I will take notes. In fact, everyone is welcome to take notes and just start hacking in this document. Well, Olivia, do you want to dive into the onboarding proposal? Show off what's been done there?
Sure, yeah. Let me... Should I share screen or don't need?
Sure, yeah. It's always fun.
Okay, so maybe some people don't know about how this proposal was before, but I started this document maybe a week or 2 weeks ago and integrated some feedback. So the idea is that we have a very simple process to start with just 3 roles. That would be community stewards, subject matter experts, and contributors. So community stewards, they have a lot of they have the most commitment out of the roles. So they put more or less like 4 hours a week of work into the TEC. And subject matter experts are people that are most likely to be invited by other members, and they make critical contributions, but they don't always have the bandwidth to be a community steward. And then contributors are anyone that wants to contribute. It's a low barrier entry, and they can participate in everything that it's being proposed by the community stewards, most likely. So the onboarding process would be to have an onboarding guide that will be always present in the Discord chat, and also to have a personal welcoming message to every person that enters. So a community steward would be somehow responsible, or would be the main point of contact of a contributor when they enter. So this person can feel like they can ask questions. They don't need to ask in the main channel if they don't feel comfortable about it. They can have some type of a slower onboarding into understanding most of the contributions they can take part. And the subject matter onboarding would be an invitation by community stewards, and they would receive pretty much the same onboarding as the contributors, but a more detailed explanation of how they can make significant contributions even if they don't have the bandwidth for it. And then the community steward onboarding, they would be nominated by 2 other community stewards. Whenever someone starts to participate and to engage a lot, they would be invited to become a community steward. And if they agree, they would receive a 30-minute onboarding session call with another community steward, and also have that person as a main point of contact. So maybe it was a bit confusing to read it through like this, but the main objective is that people have a good understanding about the mission, vision, and values of the TEC, what is happening in the cultural build, and that they feel very welcome and that it's easy to collaborate.
Okay. Are there any clarifying questions? I have one. So with the community stewards, it sounded like is it that anytime someone joins a chat that a community steward needs to be assigned to them, or how? Can you just go into explaining how each individual has a community steward that's like their buddy?
Yeah, maybe this, I think it can be simple to create another chat for community stewards. So whenever someone new enters, let's say you entered and I'm a community steward, so I'll go in the chat and say, hey, I just welcomed Griff, so I'm with you. So just to let other people know that they don't need to welcome you and to pair with you. So I would be like your main point of contact for the process.
And another question. So this also means that it's the responsibility of a community steward to make sure that every new member and also subject matter experts, whatever, is up to date with mission, vision, and how everything works. And this is not the responsibility of a working group lead, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it. Good.
Okay, cool. If there's no other clarifying questions, feel free to interrupt if there are. But if there's no others, then let's go into the next proposal, which is the decision-making process. I'm actually forking it to, so I'll share my screen, to include some comments that were made by Grace and myself. Is my share screen working this time? Great. So there's a little bit of a fork here. First off, Grace made a really great comment around including problems or opportunities. And so I want to just kind of add that into the proposal, that every proposal needs to have a clear problem statement and specific outcomes that need to be resolved. I thought that was I don't know. I would like to propose that we add that into the decision-making process just as a standard. And the other change is just a kind of more of a bureaucratic change of moving the time from Friday. It was Friday at 7 o'clock Berlin time to Friday at 11:30 p.m. Berlin time. Sorry. So that the West Coast people like myself don't have to wake up so early to finish getting our proposals in on time. That's the main thing. The other small standard that's kind of being created is just that we standardize around talking in Berlin time and just use that as our default time zone. And yeah, I think that's it. So if there's any clarifying questions, I imagine not. We can move on to the next one. Oh, yeah. So the next one is near-term mission of the project. So this is something that actually it was in the handbook that we have, but it wasn't really agreed upon or anything. It wasn't very clear. In fact, it actually caused a lot of problems with us, kind of confusion around shared resources in the token engineering community versus the actual project to launch a bonding curve and a DAO, as the TE Commons. Just the word commons isn't super clear on what we're talking about. So I'm formally proposing a near-term mission explainer which basically says that the near-term mission is to launch the smart contract system and the culture around the smart contract system that has a bonding curve and conviction voting, and that we call this the TE Commons. And that's the mission for the next 6 months, is just to get through this roadmap and actually launch the thing. So yeah.
That's cool, because I really felt there was a lot of misunderstanding here, and to me it feels now okay. Maybe just to double check. So that means I tried to take a very simple term for the TE Commons. So at the moment we are planning for a funding machine in a way, but of course in the future this could be anything and integrate all kinds of knowledge and tools being integrated in as commons and a common good. But at the moment, it's basically the bonding curve and conviction voting.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that's what the DAO becomes is it's too early to see for sure. But eventually it could just take over and become like the main organization for all engineering that exists in the world. Who knows? It could get huge. But for now, just trying to fund public goods in the technical engineering commons space. But yeah, and feel free to give comments if we want to change this up. That'd be good. But I think it's pretty well standard.
Cool.
I don't think Shebnem's arrived, right? So she was proposing something about calling this a working group 0 off of Cyprian's thing. I wanted to give her the space to explain those thoughts, but basically I'll summarize what I've gleaned off of it, is that we are kind of our own working group right now. We're kind of doing a working group on how do we create working groups for the TE Commons. So I think she's going to propose something around that, or we'll work together to get something up. Just talking about how we have a small group of people, probably just the community stewards, that are actually working to improve our own processes. But this is the next one is a really exciting thing to show off because, oh, sorry, are there clarifying questions on Working Group 0? I think Working Group 0 might just need to be worked on when Shebnem gets here. So hopefully she gets here after I'm done with this. But praise quantification has begun. Even though it hasn't fully been shown, like finished, I want to give like a 5-minute overview of how we've quantified praise so far. This praise quantification proposal was shown off last week, and it had a lot of comments on it. Thank you, Angela and Shebnem, and Jeff, I think, also put some comments here. And basically the idea is things that changed is that we're going to, instead of calling it cred, which we already have TE cred and it was kind of confusing, we're going to call the currency or the spreadsheet currency that's created as TEC impact hours. And just as a summary, this TEC impact hours are only relevant up until the hatch is successful. And after that, they kind of lose their relevancy because they're funded. TE Commons impact hours are actually funded by the hatch. So after the hatch, well, then it's kind of not relevant anymore. And the idea is that everyone is encouraged to dish praise or make people aware of whatever work is being done in the TE Commons space. And there's kind of 3 tiers of work that is going to be quantified. The most important tier is the tier 1, which is complete unpaid volunteer work to make this thing a reality. Then there's also mostly volunteer work that is kind of passively supporting the TE Commons creation, which is tier 2. And then there's paid work for the TE Commons and also supporting work on the TE Academy, TE Book, TE Review Committee, and really anything that is helping the TE community is indirectly helping the TE Commons. So we want to encourage a culture of dishing praise to any work that's done in the TE community. Then there's also work that is not relevant for praise in receiving impact hours, which is like DeFi work, or that's like just for-profit DeFi work that's launching a new token farming technique, or doing paid token engineering work on the side somewhere that's not really helping the TE community. It's just using token engineering itself. We have been dishing praise in a few rooms, and it's not like a total overview of all the work that has been done, but it's what we have, and we're just going to kind of cruise through this because it's a 3 to 5 month process, and we don't need to spend so much time on perfecting how we reward everybody. Just do the best that we can and fix it if it's broken. So Livy and I actually started started quantifying praise. And here, maybe I'll share this praise quantification sheet in the comments because it's worth checking out. So, we took all the praise that was relevant to Token Engineering Commons, and in this sheet, you can see in column A, you have the people who received praise. Column B, the people who dished praise. Column C is the people, the comment for the praise. And column E is the date. Column F is the room that the praise was dished in. From here on out, it will probably just be the Token Engineering Commons room on Telegram. But historically, we didn't always have that room. So we included a few other rooms where praise was being dished. And then we have some points. So in column H and column I, so in column G, we just kind of guess to communicate to everyone what tier we thought this work was done in. And then in column H and column I, Livy and I will go through and actually give a score, just points. These points end up getting averaged out and show what percentage of the total work that was done, the score gets. And then we do some magic math, and it turns into cred per praise. So this praise for putting on the Token Engineering Academy, the first round of Token Engineering Academy that Angela and Shebnem did, they ended up both earning about 4, it still said cred, but 4 impact hours for doing that. And this is just the average percentage here times the number of hours up here that we estimated for the total time. We just kind of said 400 hours. It's a little rough because this is historic for the last 2 months, but it's something. And then we actually aggregate the results here. And this is the results for this round. And we're pretty happy. I'm pretty happy at least with the results. I can show them here too. The Shebnem was the top scorer with 43 impact hours, and Angela got 36, Luke got 31, Cyprian got 28, and these are the Telegram handles. And so we will post these results every 2 weeks. And each impact hour is effectively worth $20 to $200 based off of how we decide to work on the cultural build tribute. So what will happen is the more impact hours that you have, the more each hour will be worth some funds being contributed to the Token Engineering Commons in your name. Those funds will then create Token Engineering Commons tokens, and you will receive those tokens for doing this work. We have like a first example of how the token could be created. So like we will add up all of the hours that were ever put into these praise sheets, and we'll add them all up and then put that number here. And then we'll have some sort of algorithm that reward per impact hour. How much money is raised in the hatch? The more money raised in the hatch, the smaller the percentage is that the hatch contributors have to pay, right? But also the higher the impact hour is worth. This is kind of the idea. I definitely don't want to debate this because this is something that a working group should definitely work on as part of the overall design.
You both added 50 points, same average, same creds per praise, but different cred per, this is cut off, cred per person.
Yeah, so this cred per person is a distributed sum of, sorry, I realized it was filtered, and there's kind of this praise count. So to get the praise results, I just filter here so that I just grab one of each name. But basically this cred per person, impact hours per person, this is the total amount of impact hours that they earned that round. So,
got it. Okay, so cred per praise is the result of all the cells on the left side, whereas cred per person is the amount adding up from various
exactly.
contributions. Is that okay? Okay,
exactly. Yeah, this is the D sum of all the praise that was relevant for that person, and then this is the praise just for like,
this hour, this measuring in hours is a virtual unit, right? Because it doesn't really match to actual hours invested.
Yeah, it's like token engineering commons impact hours. It's just to kind of define that this is kind of like a measurement of, at least when Livia and I are putting these numbers down, kind of doing like impact per time. Like if you spent a lot of time on something and it didn't have a lot of impact, we'll still probably give you some, extra points because he did spend a lot of time and it's worth it. But if you did something really small, but it has a huge impact, that might be a little bit larger than the time that you put in. It's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
Oops, I broke something. Oh yeah, I know what I broke. I'll fix it though. Okay, well, cool. If there's no questions on this, feel free to review it. And the main next steps are that we're going to publish a blog post kind of showing off what everybody earned. And hopefully our hope here is that this will show people that it's not just by putting you earn tokens in the eventual launch of the DAO that we're creating. So hopefully this will help us attract and onboard people so that they know that they will be rewarded for their work.
Please make a disclaimer.
Yeah.
That, this is the starting point. And, or let me ask, sorry, like, do you believe that this model will remain as is?
No, of course, everything that we do is open for evolving, right? That's
yeah, that would be cool to get it there, because I'm sure that a lot of people, yes, it will definitely, and it will fulfill its purpose. It will definitely show, okay, something is happening there, and if you join and contribute and you have the right background, don't wait. I think that's great. At the same time, we're doing all of this token engineering reviews and what have you. I'm sure people are going to pick it apart. So
yeah,
preemptively say, yes, pick it apart, but come join the token engineering community to do so.
Okay, that's cool. I'll add that to the proposal. And then actually, we're running a little behind on schedule, but you had Shebnem, you had a proposal about, well, not a formal proposal, but something about working group 0. Did you just want to present that idea before we move on to the data gathering section?
Yeah, if that's okay, else we can also take it when the working groups or how we work is on the menu. But very quickly is exactly to preemptively address that point, saying we are moving fast, but don't worry, we're not going to break anything. If you see improvement points, come join the working group 0, because this is exactly the TE common set and how it should be. And what do you think in these models don't work? I mean, you know, even saying impact and so on and so forth, there are so many things that people are going to be and instead of just leaving them, give them a door, give them a channel link, and that would be cool to actually use that energy and channel it positively into our groups. And that would be working group 0, literally taking from where you guys say, where we say this is good enough for us to move on, to say, okay, and what else, you know, what could go wrong, what can be improved, and what can be automated faster. And if someone comes along and says, hey, I want to use that to parameterize source grid, and look, tomorrow I have it. These are the things that this working group 0 should catch.
Great. Yes, I love it. We should work on formalizing this later this week, huh? Like putting it on a piece of document or something.
I will, but it will be a placeholder.
Yeah. Great. Okay, then let's move on to the gathering data, online onboarding data gathering. So it'd be really, really great if everyone could actually open the call notes because we have some engagement opportunity. Because this is kind of the pattern of the calls, is that first half we show off work that has been done. Second half, let's all hang out and start throwing data out. So the first question that we want to gather data from everyone here is think of someone you want to onboard to the Token Engineering Commons and the working group to build the Token Engineering Commons. What is the best way to approach them? So if you could just spend, you know, maybe we'll make it, because we're short on time, 3 minutes to write down the person that you want to onboard to this project and how you think the best way would be to approach them. And the purpose here is to gather this data and then actually design methodology for onboarding and improve the onboarding proposal. Is that right, Livia?
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, just so it'll be a little boring. We'll have to just enjoy the void space of sound. That's always hard for me, but
Yeah, and I think onboarding is the type of thing that can always improve. So it's super valuable to hear anything people have to add.
Okay, 20-second warning. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So next step is feel free to continue writing there. If you can listen at the same time, it's fine. But the next step is kind of just to review the roles, I think. Livia, is this your section here?
Yeah, just review and add any suggestions if you have.
Yeah. So this is kind of an opportunity to take 2 minutes to comment on the onboarding idea of these 3 different roles and define them. The idea is that, hey, we're going to stay basic to start, but then it can evolve and get more complex as we go.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm missing the working group leads, or did I?
I think
You don't plan for working group leads anymore, or?
Yeah, I guess the idea is that working group leads will be community stewards. And one of the things about leads is that leads don't have to do all of the work. Leads just have to make sure the work gets done. So let's say we have a working group around building the technical specification for the conviction voting DAP, right? Piece of the pie. Well, that person just needs to make sure that that we have a final product that is good. They don't have to write it. They don't have to design it. They just have to make sure it happens. And then they can go to subject matter experts, collect the right subject matter experts into the group, and also make sure that the results, like this is why working group leads, we're proposing that they're community stewards, is that the community stewards have a really good overview of the entire project, or at least that's the dream. And so they can make sure that whatever product, whatever the working group produces, is also aligned with all the other pieces of the puzzle.
Okay.
Yeah, the subject matter expert can also be a working group lead, or at least lead in the expertise part of it, and maybe not as much in the organizational part.
And I guess similarly here, when we start with working group lead and we see things that can be improved, then we will improve them.
Yeah, we should.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so well, at least you guys are introduced to this idea. And if you have more comments or something around, you can comment here, or you can comment in the onboarding guide, onboarding proposal, and especially today or tomorrow morning, because I believe, Livia, you're gonna try to propose the onboarding proposal this weekend, right?
Yeah, maybe I can just get a temperature check if people think it's valuable to have another role that is working group leader.
So I think in the original document, or on the document, that might be a copy paste here, but I think in the original document you had it all in there, and it did make sense. So
okay, cool.
And also let's have, so definitely the subject matter expert was missing before, and now it definitely makes more sense, and one can imagine how they will be working differently. I just had one remark, but as said, I think this will be interesting things to check and improve, or show that they work.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, I guess on the feedback, maybe you guys can just say yes or no on this next question if this looks good enough to propose this week. Yeah, thank you, Dan, for adding your name there. And and how about a quick vote, a signal on working group as its own role or not? So like yes or no as the second one. Yeah, thank you.
So that also would, if you say working group lead as an own role, would mean we have stewards on one hand and working group leads on the other hand. So these could be different people.
Yeah. So yeah, basically the idea is should working groups be able to be led by people who are not community stewards?
Aha, okay.
So yeah, it would complicate things.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a signaling vote. And then onboarding recruitment strategy, I think we're out of time. So let's just, feel free to finish voting on this. And then actions for the week. So what proposals or action items do we need to get done this week? So obviously we need to propose a bunch of votes. Sounds like working group 0 proposal. And Shebnam, you said you were going to lead that? I'm happy to definitely review, and I imagine Livia would too. We're kind of, obsessed with this project.
Sure.
Livia, you're probably going to propose some votes. I'll propose some votes. Are there any other action items this week that we want to, maybe make a medium?
Let's find people commit to things to do when we put them. And if not, that's also an indicator that we should be getting more people in.
Yeah.
Like if who's going to take care of Medium, for example? Would be cool if someone does raise a hand.
Yeah, I mean, the default is that Griff and Livia will pick up any slack the best that we can. But obviously, we want to allow anyone to score their impact hours if they want.
Yeah, I remember Jess also said she was interested about Medium before, so I can talk to her too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think we lost Jess, who's also a very major contributor. So
Hello.
We
Oh, hey.
dropped off, but we are still here.
Yeah,
Nice.
I guess I wasn't sure, Livy, where we left off. I think we were going to do a little 15-minute session and look into Medium. You said you hadn't used it before, so yeah, I'm happy to just help to get it set up. It's very quick. It only takes a couple of minutes, so we could go in and set it up together, the share screen or something. As far as ownership, I'm a little hesitant at the moment while we're moving around, but hopefully we'll be renting a place for October, November, December, and then I'll be definitely having a lot more bandwidth. But for the next couple of weeks being on the road, I can kind of be there as jump on for 30 minutes or hour work session. But to take ownership right now, I'm going to hold off till probably beginning October, but definitely just poke me, for little work sessions and pushing the ball up the hill.
Classic example of a subject matter expert. Okay. Any other brainstorming things that would be beneficial for us to get done this week? And you can just type them in the notes. It's the ideal, so we don't lose them. Other than that, then feel free to come through and add things to this after the call, but let's just do we have 3 minutes to run through last closing remarks. So let's do it. Thank you guys for coming. I think it was a good call. I like the action steps, and I really like the progress that we made. I want to give special shout out to Shebnem for all the work that she did last week to kind of like bring us back on track and integrate feedback and be better at integrating feedback, which hopefully got added in to these proposals today, and will may be huge for going forward with this project. I'll pass it to Olivia.
Yeah, thanks so much, everyone, for coming. Thanks for the new faces, too, to come check it out. And yeah, I'm also excited that maybe this is going to be the first week that someone else will own a document. So, Shebnem, I'm excited that you're doing that. And I'll pass to you, Shebnem.
So definitely, you guys are super good in incorporating feedback and reacting fast. So we're learning as well, and definitely people take the initiative, take ownership. This is a great community. You know it. I'm looking at Michael. Cool that he's here as well. So then I pass it on to Michael, basically.
I think I'm on. I'm still, like figuring out GC. So thanks a lot for the update. I see that I have actually more work to do, catching up with things, like with the proposals, voting, but like really good work, really good progress, and really important that you try to keep the momentum going. So kudos for that. And maybe I'll pass it to Angela.
Yeah. I'm super excited for the moment when this is becoming a more public initiative by launching the Gitcoin grant and by also publishing Medium articles, because I guess this will be, and also I felt that this survey raised attention, so it will be exciting to see more and more people coming in and contributing. Can't wait. Pass it on to Jeff.
Yeah, really happy to see the progress being made. I know it's a long game, and we've all been working on various pieces of the puzzle for quite a while. But it's amazing to see this initiative coming together, and I think this is the pathway to higher leverage for everything that we're working on. And I'm really excited to start taking this out into a wider community. And I think a lot of people have been hearing the message of token engineering over the past years. And really excited to start spreading the tools and the processes and the cultural build processes that may help other groups who are looking to do the same thing. And I will pass to Jess because nobody can see her because she's sitting right beside me.
Hey, thank you so much to everybody for all the energy, and it's feeling so good in this community. So looking forward to how it develops. And Livy, tomorrow I've got time if you want to go ahead and we can set up the Medium, get that rolling. And has everyone gone?
Yeah, that's me. Last one. Thanks very much, guys. As always, a great week, and look forward to seeing you all soon. So I'll pass back to Griff for closing out.
All right. Can't hear you.
You're mute.
But I can still hear his voice now. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, you can exactly. Yeah, it's easy to see, right? Angela, if one last thing, we need to make one more TE Commons room, so I'll ping you about that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, guys.
No problem. See you soon. Thanks.